Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. We're on a blog hop today, and in the description bar you'll see a list of blogs that are taking part in this blog hop. Also, you will see the link to my blog, and in there is a list to all of the people in the blog hop. So there's no escaping it. Please go and support and give a little bit of love to the other Stampin' Up demonstrators who are taking place in this blog hop today. And the theme of the blog hop was mini catalogue favourites. So I didn't put the mini catalogue in front of me. There it is. So this was the mini catalogue, soon to come to an end. And the new catalogue will launch on the 3rd of June. Now, in this mini catalogue, we had to pick out what our favourite things were and make a project with it. The trouble is, when you have something that is your favourite, you tend to use it all. But I have a little bit of this left. This is the Best Dressed 6x6 papers. And I thought I would make something out of this. And what I'm going to make, which you just saw a little sneak peek of there, is a dress. And I absolutely adore this paper. There was so much that you could do with it. There was such a mix of lovely, bright, vibrant floral colours, but also there were other bits and pieces in there as well. Now you'll see I've done some fussy cutting out of these. But we had paper that had shoes on it, bags, lipsticks, makeup. Here's the lipstick and makeup one. And I've made lots and lots of projects out of this paper. I really got my money's worth out of it. It's lovely. Obviously, very girly, but it doesn't have to be girly. But it's just so pretty and so floral, and it is coming to an end. So if you're watching this video today and you think, I need to get my hands on that paper, you only have a few days left before this catalogue comes to an end. So I've done videos before on how to make this dress, but to save you scrolling through videos and trying to find a link, let me show you how it's done, and then I'll put my card together. I'll do this relatively quickly. You're going to have to do your best to follow along and just keep pressing pause as you're doing things. You need a sheet. This is from the Peaceful Poppies DSP, which was my second favourite buy from the mini catalogue. You need a sheet of square paper. It doesn't matter what size, it just has to be square. And the first thing you do is fold it in half. What you have to be careful of with this is the direction of the paper. So always be aware of what is going to be the top of your dress. And how well you score this and how well you fold it will depend on how well this whole thing will go together. So no pressure. But if it is slightly out, it's not the end of the world. It just makes some of the folds might be a little bit more difficult. So always be aware this is the top. So there's your fold down the middle, and you're going to bring the edge of that paper into that middle score as accurately as you can, and then get a bone folder. The bigger the paper, the easier this is. As your paper gets smaller, so if you want, this is a 6-inch square sheet of paper, but if you wanted to do a 4x4, which I've done before, it does get a bit on the small side, and then you start fighting with it, and the scores can be difficult to fold. So this is what you have, a middle, and then these two here. So it kind of looks like that. Not that that makes any difference to what's going to happen to this. So I'm working here, this is the top. I'm working here, and there's my middle score, and I'm going to bring this into the middle, like that. Get it as bang on as you can. That isn't bang on at all, Donna, come on. So that bit could have been a little bit better, but I'll show you in a minute. It really doesn't make a massive difference. And turn it round and bring the same in here. That also could have been a lot better. The problem is I've got the camera directly above this project, and I would normally get my head right in there and just check. You shouldn't really have that gap in between, but it's there, so there's nothing I can do about that. Hopefully it won't make too much difference. And before we start, because now we'll start doubling up on these folds, make sure that they're nicely burnished. It will make a bit of a difference when you start to put this together. So now I've got that, that's what it looks like. You're going to fold it that way in half. Get those corners to meet, and as soon as they meet and those raw edges meet, then, oh, being shot, Donna, then bring that down there like that. You will need your bone folder for this bit and some strong hands. With a lot of my origami projects, you always hear me say, you know, if you've got weak hands, this will be difficult. Find now the top. There's the top of my paper. That makes all the difference, because what you're going to do is bring this fold here up to, so squeeze it, oh, it's not going to hold, and bring it up that way. So you've got that, okay? So what you've done is you've brought that fold, this middle fold, and you just brought it further up. Doesn't matter how big that is. Mine is, that is 1/2 inch, okay, but something around that will do. And I'm going to give that a really good score, and I'm going to burnish rather, and I'm going to give that a really good burnish. Still, it's nothing like a dress, does it? What we're going to do is now we're going to create this bit. Now I always get my bone folder and just stick it carefully into that corner there. And you're just going to push this out. You're bringing this out. Push this in behind it. And just create that. I'll show you that again with the other side. And then just burnish that line there. This one, pull it outwards, so make sure you can get in there, and then just pull this out a bit. Be careful with it, it can tear. And I would also suggest practice with some paper. So what you have is this. So I like to push these up because I'm going to create a 3D effect like that. So there's your skirt. I'm just going to push that back up there. Okay, at this point we're going to turn it over, and now we're going to start even more folding. There is a score line right in the middle here, and you are going to bring this down like that to meet that score line. And what really helps here is to really push that down. If you have got weak hands, get somebody to help you with that bit. And then you're going to do the same to the other side. Push that down and get your bone folder and give that a good crease. And then you're going to open that up. And you're going to open it right up. So what you've done is folded those down, open that up, and then here, just going to bring that open like that. Bring that down and then push these forward, but you've got to get right into that corner. This is the trickiest bit. Push that down and then you get that. Okay, so I'll do that again. You've got that, open it up, bring that front piece forward, make sure it goes right into these corners here, bring that down and push it together. And then just burnish those score lines. Okay, so we've done that. And the next, oh yeah, I couldn't remember what I was doing. The next thing we're going to do is now create the waistline, and we're going to bring this raw edge here to the middle. But when we do that, the dress is trying to come with it. So what we do is we bring that over there to the middle. So start at the top here. Obviously, if you push that all the way over, it's going to tear. So it's the point where it starts to give. And when you're trying to think of this, when you're explaining, it's a little bit more difficult. So you need to push this down and then bring the skirt with it. It's going to have to fold over on itself. But what you've got to do, if I now rotate it, it will form a diagonal line. And that cinches in the waist. Form that diagonal line, but let it form right down to that point. That takes a bit of practice. And then you might want to do that on some paper. I really recommend on some paper first. I'll show again on the other side. It's difficult to do it slowly. I've done so many of these. I just kind of do it. Give that a really good... This is where it's likely to tear, is there. Can you see then how that cinches in that waist? I want this dress. Right, I'll show you again. You're going to bring that side over. Okay, so this here is going to come over, but it brings the dress with it, the bottom of the dress. Bring it over there, and at the point where the dress starts to come over, then you're going to form that diagonal line, because you have got to get that over there, but the only way to do that is to form that diagonal from the waist of your dress down to the bottom. Very carefully, don't force this because it will tear. As soon as it starts to crease, then you can finish that crease off. And you can see my corner isn't perfect. Very difficult to get that absolutely perfect. Sometimes it does it, and like here, both cases it hasn't. So now we have a waist to our dress. So we're going to create, I can't remember what comes next. Yeah, we're going to create the neckline. Can't remember which way I'm doing it. So now we're at the back, and you're going to fold this first flap here. So there's just one layer here. Fold that over from that corner and fold it over. Careful not to tear it. And you'll see if you turn it over, it forms a bit of a sleeve. That could have gone a whole lot better. And then you're going to bring that with it. I don't know why that sleeve hasn't come out as much. It must be something to do with the way it all came out. So that one comes over, and then that one comes over. Same with this. Bring this one over first and get your sleeve in. Try not to tear the paper there. That one's gone a whole lot better than that one. Why did that not work? Let's try that again. I'm worried about tearing it now. That's better. Just needed to have a better angle, and I got the wrong angle. So there are your sleeves. To form the neckline, just bring that over there. It just folds back on itself. And there's your dress. So pretty, isn't it? Okay, I was worried I was out of shot there. Just so you know, they fold over, this back one folds over here to make the sleeves, and then this one follows alongside over the top of it, but it only go a certain way because of that point there. Such a pretty dress made out of the Peaceful Poppies DSP. I'm going to have to do something with that dress now. Anyway, let me show you what I've done with this. I've got a card base. This measures 10 inches by 7 inches, and then I've scored down the middle at 5 inches. Card base. Card base done. Just want to score that a little bit better. I think that was a bit uneven. There we are. So what I've done from this dress is picked out a colour that I wanted to have as my background. So I've got this yellow, and I've taken this from Pineapple Punch. I don't think that is Pineapple Punch, but I just looked for a yellow piece of card. Pineapple Punch is a colour that is one of our 1820 colours, and it's retiring, so I want to get it used up. You could use any yellow. It's a lovely bright yellow, this Pineapple Punch. So this piece of card measures 6 7/8 by 4 7/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the front of the card base, which is 5 by 7. And that fits my dress. So when you're making a card, and if you want to put this origami dress on it, you need to make sure that it will fit, because on a regular 4 by 6 card, that 6 by 6 origami dress won't fit. So there's my yellow card, and then I want to have a layer of white as well, because you'll see why in a minute. I need to have a white background. It would also make the colours on my dress pop a little bit more. And that measures 4.5 by 6.5. Not only that, we get a nice yellow border all the way around. So just going to, oh, I'm making the table shake, which makes the camera shake. You lot go seasick. So I'm just going to put that on there and get a nice even, that isn't even, a nice even border all the way around it. I'm rushing very slightly so that you're not having to watch a super long video. Now let me show you what I've got before I start putting all of this together. I've got my dress. We're not going to have it flat. It gives it no dimension. It gives it no movement. So we're going to flatten it here, but this dress we're going to push up there like that. So what we're going to do is put some glue behind where the waist comes in, behind the sleeves, and then also on the hem of the dress, but we're going to push that upwards and maybe put another glue bit there, just so all of this stands out. The other thing that I've done for this as well is out of this DSP, I have fussy cut the shoes. The reason I need a white background, I was not going to try and get my scissors in there and cut round that. So with a white background means that you can't really see, not that well unless you looked really, really properly, that there is, I need those shoes to be like that, that there is, it's not been cut out. So I've got a pair of those. Love those shoes. Pair of shoes. I've also got a lipstick because no outfit is complete without lipstick, in my opinion. So I just fussy cut that. And I want to put that there. And out of this, I fussy cut this handbag. All now perfectly colour coordinated. So what I'm going to do, rather than you watch me glue that on, I'm going to glue that onto my paper and come back to you. So I've got the dress stuck down, just put some stamping dimensionals, mini dimensionals, just here, 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 and at the waist, and stuck it down, that's all. But just made sure that I push these up so you can see that dress has got some dimension to it. I've got the shoes. Now I'm wondering, do I need to have the shoes up on dimensionals? And I think we should, otherwise it all just becomes so flat. So this is not like me to use so many dimensionals in a project. Makes me feel very uneasy. No, the shoes are going to be here. Are they going to be here or here? Oh, I can't decide. It just looks like, right, no, they're going to go there. Probably going to regret that decision. I need to think about my sentiment as well, which is going to go there. Of course, I haven't thought about that when I put that on there. Let's do that now, and then if it gets a bit squashed, I can unsquash it. I've got Blackberry Bliss ink. Love this colour, and it's picking out this Blackberry Bliss in her dress. And I've stuck the shoe to the ink block. It's all going wrong at the end. Ink up my best wishes from all of us stamp from the Itty Bitty Greetings. Handy stamp, it's got everything in there. And I'm just going to, and hopefully this is straight because I've rushed this a little bit. Yep, that's good. Let's get rid of that ink before I have an accident. So one shoe just here. So this lovely red shoe picks out the red, definitely better with dimensionals, picks out this lovely lipstick colour in her dress. And let's just get a couple more on here. Oh, just getting stuck to everything. So there are the shoes. We're going to have 2 on the lipstick. Everything is sticking, so I'm going to put that there. don't want to put it too close to the handbag because it just then looks like a gigantic lipstick that isn't going to even fit anywhere near her handbag. Finally, just some